Becoming pure. This topic is from Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. Srila Prabhupada, the series of question answers. It came out as a book with a Western personality who later became a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And Becoming Pure is the 5th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. So the question came to my mind. Becoming pure. Why should one become pure? What is the whole reason? And does that mean I'm impure? A normal person will ask, why should I become pure? Becoming pure, why should everything I am pure? What is the reason? Huh? Anybody would like to share? Why should one become pure? Why? That's what the Lord wants. One answer. It's nice. To be accepted by the Lord. Anyone else? Something we want to achieve. It's true.
I think one is already pure. It's just a question of knowing it. Because we all come from Him.
Yes. So potentially we are all pure, but we want to know it and we want to know Him. Yes, that's there. And yes, so some of the things that I was thinking of is to be free from misery. Some people say, I am smoking too much. I want to be purified of this smoking. I want to be pure. So in that sense, he wants to be free from that misery, that particular misery. So so generically we may say that one of the reasons is become free from miseries. To be free from karma, some people who know about karma, they'll say, I want to become free from karma. I don't want any negative karma. Already I'm suffering, I don't want karma. So that might be the other reason. Some people who are more spiritually advanced, they'll say, I want to get rid of the karma, the cycle of birth and death. This cycle of birth and death. I want to become pure and not have to do anything with birth and death. Most spiritual practitioners will say that. And the last, more spiritually advanced person will say, I want to become close to God. I want to become close to God. God is pure. I want to become close to God, and I want to get rid of all these impurities. So, one of the verses that Srila Prabhupada quotes in this chapter is, what happens is, this is from the Bhagavatam, 5th canto, the 5th, Panchama Skand, the 5th canto. What happens is King Rishabdev, who is the king of the entire, and this is way in the past. King Rishabdev is the king of the entire earth, like that. He has got 100 sons, and with his sons he is going to holy places like this. 100 sons, and the eldest son of these 100 sons is Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj, on whose name India, not our country, I should say India. India is named Bharat. Our country is Great Britain. But I mean to say that, Bharat. So, on whose name the country is known as Bharat. So, this is Bharat. Bharat is the eldest of the 100 sons of Rishabdev. So, Rishabdev, being a king, he wants to teach his sons how to be leaders of the society, how to, govern. And he takes them to all the holy places. And there, one place where he comes, it is known as Brahmavarta. There, in Brahmavarta, there is this assembly, just like this. This is an assembly. There's an assembly of sages. And all the sages are listening or discussing spiritual topics. So there, Rishabdev, is given a chance to speak. So he speaks. He speaks to his sons. Rishabdev says, Nayam deha bhajam naraloke. And I'll translate this. I'll just speak the Sanskrit and then translate this. Kastan kaman arhate vid bhujam ye tapo divyam putrakayena satvam shuddhet yasmad brahma saukhyam tamanantam. Brahma saukhyam. So he says, basically I'll just read the last. He says, tapo divyam putra. Putraka. So he says, my dear sons, tapo divyam. Tapasya is divya. Tapasya is divya. And he says, what happens by that? Sattvam shuddhet. He says, Sattvam shuddhet. Sattva means entire existence. It can be my existence, your existence, or the entire existence. So by tapasya, what happens? Sattvam shuddhet, he says. Yasmad brahma saukhyam tavanantam. Brahma saukhya. and Ananta. So there is transcendental happiness eternally. So the first thing this is the king of the world. He's teaching his sons, tapasya, do tapasya. For what? Satsvam shuddhet. Do this for tasvam. This is what we used to have the kings in the past, and this is what he says. And I'll just read the translation. Srila Prabhupada writes very beautifully. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So again, this is 5th canto, 5th chapter, verse number 1. Lord Rishabdev told his sons, my dear boys, of all living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded human form of life should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification. So he says, do not work day and night just for sense gratification, which is available even to the hogs and dogs who eat stool. So he says, sense gratification is available to animals. If you are only working for sense gratification, there is no difference between you and animals. So my dear sons, do not just work for that. So what should we work for? That's the next question. So I'll repeat, do not work in the human form of life, which is rare. Do not work day and night very hard just for sense gratification. It is available also to animals, like hogs and dogs. One should engage in penance and austerities to attain divine position of devotional service. He says. So do tapasya and divine position of devotional service. To attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and continues forever. So see, it is not that by doing devotional service, one becomes morose. One goes and lives in the Himalayas, he is sad, he is crying. No, he says, Brahma Saukhyam Tam Anantam. So he's not saying, my dear sons, become morose. He's saying, no, become happy, eternally happy. Not in this lifetime, become eternally happy, he says. But tapo divyam, do tapasya. So, in the purport, Prabhupada says that animals like dogs and hogs enjoy sense gratification by eating stool and other things. After undergoing severe hardships all day, human beings are trying to enjoy themselves by night. By eating, sleeping, drinking, mating, like this. At the same time, they have to defend themselves properly. So this is what they are doing constantly. He says it is significant in this verse that the government and the natural guardian, the father, should educate the subordinates to raise them in Krishna consciousness. So the father, who is the king of the world, does not say, you learn Niti, Rajniti, learn how to remain the king always. No, he says, what remain the king? Do tapasya, he says. Devoid of Krishna consciousness, every living being suffers in the cycle of birth and death perpetually. So, the cycle of birth and death will not stop till you are completely purified. That's the whole purpose of karma. That's the whole purpose of this world. And then, Prabhupada writes about modern, this some of us might, relate to this. He says, people are being educated and trained to work very hard for sense gratification, and there is no sublime aim in life. A man travels to earn his livelihood, leaving early in the morning, catching a local train, being packed in a compartment, to stand for an hour and two to reach his business or place of work. Then again, he gets a bus to home. At office, he works hard from 9 to 5. Then he takes 2 or 3 hours to return home. After returning, he has some eating, watches some television, he has some, mating, and then he goes to sleep. Prabhupada says this, for all this hardship, his only enjoyment is little bit of sex life. This is all, Prabhupada says. Maithunadi grahamedi sukham hi tvacham. Rishabdeva clearly says human life is not for this. My dear sons, human life is not for this. He says. He should try to live in a different way. He should inquire. Athato brahma jigyasa. This is human life. First verse. Vedanta Sutra. Athato brahma jigyasa. Now you have human birth. Now inquire about absolute truth. If you do not, again get another birth. According to karma. May not be a human birth. Prabhupada writes. Now how, of course, Prabhupada in the end, he quotes Bhagavad Gita, he says, Janma karma chame divyam, and how to not get birth again. Prabhupada writes, to be immediately eligible, to stop the cycle of karma, Bhagavad Gita 4:9, 4th chapter, 9th verse, it says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti, Krishna says. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. That means after leaving your body, punarjanma naiti. You will not get another birth. Mam eti sa Arjuna. How? Janma karma chame divyam. Just try to understand my birth and activities. Evam yo veti tatvata. Tatvata means in truth. Tattva. Tattva means the essence of something or in truth. So know the essence of Krishna's birth and activities. Do not have to take birth again. So, everyone is searching for happiness. We are all searching for happiness. Eternal happiness. If you ask anybody, would you be like to be eternally sad? He'll say, no, I want to be eternally happy. So, eternal happiness, here Krishna says, understand my birth and activities. And in other verses, he says, by me and my associates. So, Krishna's devotees, Krishna says. Now, why does Krishna say that? Is Krishna egoistic? He's saying, no, you have to enjoy, then you can enjoy with me. No, because the soul is part and parcel of God. Eko bahunam yavidadati kama. It says, I forget where it comes from, but in the Shastra it says, Eko bahunam yavidadati. So, the Lord became many. So, like that. So, the soul being a part and parcel of God, it's like a machine. A machine has a bolt, a nut bolt. The machine's nut bolt has no purpose in itself other than being with the machine. Or your hand, if your hand says, I want to be independently happy, or my finger says independently happy, I will not feed you, my hand says. No. If you feed me, then you get nourishment. So by worshipping the Lord, by serving the Lord, you are made of or part and parcel of God. So this needs to be understood. Or the soul trying to enjoy in the material world is compared to a fish out of water. You take the fish out of water, give the fish everything, the best sodas, the best retreats, the best yoga classes, I don't know what else, what else can you give? Massage, I don't know. Whatever is considered nice according to, and the fish will say, just let me get back to water. That is where my happiness lies. The soul is part and parcel of God, and its eternal constitutional position is to be happy in loving service to God. Very simple. So Krishna is not egoistic. He's just saying, come back to me, you'll be happy. Now, that is that is the other thing that we want to help others. The third point was that we want to be happy and we want to help others to be happy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while traveling through South India, he was saying, Janma sarthak kari, Bharata bhumite hoila manushya janvajar. This is Bengali, so I'll try to speak, but I'm not Bengali, so my accent is not that good. Bharata bhumite hoila manushya janvajar, janma sarthak kari karo paropkar. Bharata bhumite. So if you are born in the holy land of Bharat, manushya janma, in the form of a human person, human body, manushya janma. Janma sarthak kari. So first, purify yourself. Many people go and tell other people, hey, do this kind of puja. But are you doing? No. First you purify yourself. Janma sarthak kari, kara paropkar. Then you help others. So first you help yourself. First get purified yourself. So this is important point. Prabhupada, he says in that, this Peace Corps worker, he says, I want to help others. Prabhupada says, first you help yourself. Do you understand how to help yourself? If you do not, then please understand how to help yourself, then help others. Otherwise, you will create havoc. In India, we've got lots of helpers who themselves don't help themselves. There was this person who wrote the book, as far as I know, my father told me this, how to win friends and influence people, or something like that. And he himself committed suicide. So we don't want to be that kind of helpers. We want to help ourselves first, 100%, or at least as much as we can, and then we help others. So we are talking purify, how to purify. That's the next question. Okay, purify, but how to purify? So Prabhupada, in answering this, he says, just think that Krishna is mine and I am Krishna's. Very simple. You'll be purified. Krishna is mine, I am Krishna's. Or in other words, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Very simple, Prabhupada says. In talking to the Peace Corps worker. Of course, he gets confused. But it's as simple as that. If you can do it, very nice. And if you can always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Krishna is mine, I am Krishna's. I'll repeat. Krishna is mine, I am Krishna's. That's all. That's all that is needed, Prabhupada says. So, But again, how do I do that? That's the next question. How do I do that? So many people, when they come to Krishna, they, okay, in India, we used to go to this Ganesh temple, where you go to Ganesh temple, and the pujari had told us, if you offer 10 coconuts, this will happen. You want to pass your exam, offer 2 coconuts, and I'll do the puja. It's like this, business. Krishna, I've given you, now you give me. Oh God, give us our daily bread. If not, no prayer. You want prayer, you give bread. That is not very good kind of attitude. I mean, this Peace Corps worker, he says that, I want to become purified. What can I give? What can I get? So Prabhupada says, no. And there's a guest, who also says, I just want to serve, and see what I get. Prabhupada says, no, that is not right. That is not right. And Prabhupada quotes there, Prabhupada quotes, Yatha tathava vidadhatu lampato, mat prananathas tu evasana paraha. So Mahaprabhu Chaitanya in his prayer, Sikshastakam, he says, Krishna, you are my Lord. Krishna, you are my Lord, birth after birth. Whether you kick me, Krishna, or whether you embrace me, Krishna, I don't care. That is not my that is not for me to see. It's for you to see. For me, I just want to serve you. And Krishna is not hard-hearted. When you have such kind of attitude, think about this, that you got, let's say you've got 2 children. One of the child comes to the mother. Let's talk of the mother. So one of the child comes to the mother and says, Mother, this world is so bad. Mother, and you gave me birth. Now mother, Srila Prabhupada, this is Prabhupada's example. Srila Prabhupada says, so if the child comes and says, it's too bad, you gave me birth, you take me back into the womb. You take me back into the womb. It's your, you accusing the mother and saying, Mother, take me back into the womb. Not very intelligent, not very nice. Other child comes and says, my dear mother, the world is not so right. You teach me. You teach me and you tell me, how can I serve you? You teach me, mother, and you tell me, how can I serve you? Now, which child will the mother say, no, this, which child is the mother? Mother will help everybody, of course. Mother is not partial. That's mother, of course. She will wake up, 3 o'clock in the night, clean the stool. That is mother. Mother is, without any expectation from the child, she'll do. Mother is pure that way in the material world. But of these 2, which will the mother's heart melt and give mercy to? More mercy. Inclined to give more mercy. The son who is complaining and saying, Mother, take me back into the womb? Or the son who is saying that, Mother, son or daughter, of course, who says, how can I serve you, Mother? Of course, this world is bad, I know. But you teach me and you tell me, how can I serve you? So this is a position, that if we have this attitude that, yes, I am suffering, this world is suffering, let me go to Krishna and say, Krishna, how can I serve you? You teach me, Krishna, and you tell me, how can I serve you? So Krishna also, of course, he says, I am not partial to anybody, but I am, in my heart, the devotee is situated. So if somebody surrendered, Krishna, of course, reciprocates. Ye yatha mam prapadyante, he says. Ye yatha mam prapadyante means, as you surrender to me, I reward you. If you surrender 100%, I reward you 100%. Or I come to you 100%. If you surrender 10%, I'll, 10% reciprocation. So like that. Again, how to surrender? Prabhupada, this question was asked, how to surrender? Okay, all this is all right. Now, how do I surrender? So Prabhupada says, yama and niyama, do's and don'ts. Very simple do's and very simple don'ts. The don'ts that we follow in the Hare Krishna movement that Srila Prabhupada has given us, and again, this comes in the line Brahmavadva Sampradaya. The don'ts that we follow is no illicit relationships, illicit sex, no illicit relationships, sex or relationship out of marriage. No gambling, because it wastes your time, wastes your energy, wastes your money, wastes your everything. Yeah? No gambling. No intoxication. Your mind cannot be stable if you constantly intoxicated. Yeah? No intoxication. And no meat eating. No meat eating. So we are merciful to animals. We do not want to be the cause of suffering of anybody else, including animals. We don't want to be. So these are the 4, and in Prabhupada says, these 4 regulations in India, even the taxi wala would follow. No problem. I know karma. And 4 regulative principles, of course I know. I'm married and, I follow these. This is not a problem. Of course, nowadays it's not. But in previous, even 50 years ago, it was normal. These 4 regulative principles is nothing new. And what are the do's then? The do's are enjoying. In the association of devotees, enjoying. Prabhupada was asked, now what is the Hare Krishna movement? Prabhupada says chanting, dancing and feasting. So they said, Prabhupada, that's all? Prabhupada said, yes. Chanting, again he said, you don't understand? He said, chanting, dancing and feasting. Prabhupada said. Again the person was more confused. Prabhupada says, see, it's so simple. What is the difficulty? Chanting, dancing and feasting. Like we were chanting right now. Prem Singh Prabhu and others, they were chanting. So nice, Kirtan. Dancing, of course, at times, you'll see us, in 7 o'clock Aarti, hopefully, there'll be some dancing. And feasting, having a lot of nice, Krishna conscious food. This is enough. Kali Yuga, this is enough. We can't even do more than this in Kali Yuga. This is enough. That's all you have to do. In association of devotees, do these 3 things. Chanting, dancing and feasting, Prabhupada says. And you'll see the change. It's perceptible. It is not that I'm just speaking. I have seen the change in myself. I've seen the change in others. And you will see the change if you accept this. Try it out. Try it out. What's the difficulty? Prabhupada says. What is the difficulty? Then, what happens next? What happens if I do this, chanting, dancing and feasting, and if I just follow the regulatory principles, what happens next? As Rishabdev explains, Shratvam Shuddhed. Yasmad Brahma Saukhyam Tavanantam. Shratvam Shuddhed. So existence will be purified. Prabhupada was in Andhra Pradesh, and there was this big famine. The chief minister said, famine. Prabhupada said, why don't you allow us to do kirtan? Chief minister, what are you saying? I'm saying there is a famine. Help us with food. Help us with. Prabhupada said, no, we'll do kirtan. Chief, okay, do kirtan. They did kirtan, and there was a massive rain. Massive rain. And this is true. This is recorded. Hare Krishna history. So it is not impractical. If Krishna wants, Krishna gives. But of course, we should also endeavor. Just chanting, praying to Krishna. Sattvam Shuddhet. And Brahma Saukhyam, so which is spiritual happiness, Tvam Anantam, eternal. It is not that you are enjoying today. How much rasgullas can you eat? If you like rasgulla, how much can you eat? I used to like, my wife doesn't allow now because of medical reasons. But how much can you eat rasgullas? 10, 15. After 15, that time at least you'll say, no, enough. So enjoyment is not anantam. It is not eternal. But spiritual happiness is eternal. I know for a fact devotees who can do kirtan 24 hours if allowed. Their body doesn't allow currently, but they can do kirtan 24 hours. No problems. And their constantly enjoyment is increasing. Enjoyment is constantly increasing. Spiritual happiness is such a happiness that is constantly increasing, and there is no negative karma. The other thing is karma is burnt, if anything. Yeah. So this is the result. Now somebody may say, oh, this is all right. Hare Krishna is so difficult. Prabhupada will say, how? Again, I've written this because Prabhupada wrote this. After telling this person that why don't you join us? Why don't you chant, dance, and feast? He said it's difficult. Prabhupada said, what is the difficulty? You eat every day. Eat with us. Eat Krishna Prasad. Then Prabhupada said, dancing. He said, if anybody is happy, normally what will you do? Oh, I passed the exam. Yay! I passed the exam. I'm dancing. Dance for Krishna. How difficult is that? Feasting, don't you like nice prasadam, nice foodstuffs? Eat. What's the difficulty? Prabhupada would say. And in this, you are being purified. In this, you are being purified. So Prabhupada was, asked, what is the result? Prabhupada was asked once in a room, and I was, in a lecture by His Grace Rupilas Prabhu, he was there. He said, this is in New York, I think. And Prabhupada asked, Prabhupada, how does it feel to be a pure devotee? Normally Prabhupada would, speak something humbly. But on that day, Prabhupada said, no fear. Prabhupada said, no fear. And then Prabhupada looked around the room. His Grace Rupilas was telling me, he said, everybody was feeling no fear. At least for that instant. No fear, Prabhupada said. So fear will be gone. There is no fear. If there is no fear, there is no anxiety. There is no anxiety. There is no... And you can constantly expect bliss at every moment. No birth, no old age, no disease. Such a nice investment. And not much to be given. Then, the next Next question that was asked to Prabhupada in this chapter was that, Prabhupada, but I cannot do it when I'm alone. And which is true, he was truthful, this person. He said, Prabhupada, I cannot do it when I'm alone. Prabhupada said, associate with us. Come associate with us. And that is the reason we have the temple. The temple exists so that all of us can come, we can associate, and Sankirtan, we can do it together. We can do it together, all of us. And that is the main reason, the temples are there. For all of us to associate and do these things together. Sankirtan means together. And then Prabhupada gave the example. He says a rod, iron rod, put in fire. When you put an iron rod in fire, what happens? It becomes fire-like. And after some time, the rod and the fire is not different, Prabhupada says. Similarly, he said, if you associate with devotees, you will become like them. You will be happy. You will gain a taste for chanting. And you yourself will experience bliss, the same bliss that devotees are experiencing. So all that is required is association. All that is required is association. For Srila Prabhupada, he went to the West and he made hippies into happies. There was this magician, this is a true story, a bit funny, but and he came to Vrindavan. This again, His Grace Rupilasu was telling us. So this magician came to Vrindavan temple, our temple is called Vrindavan, and he was showing all these wonderful tricks, and Prabhupada seemed to be amused, and Prabhupada was, doing all that. And in the end, Prabhupada said, can you do what I can do? I can also do magic, Prabhupada said. Can you do what I can do? He said, what, Swamiji? He said, turn these hippies into happies. And Prabhupada said, do this. Basically, all these white people, have no knowledge of purity, have no knowledge of, of the level of purity required to serve the deities, have no knowledge of kirtan, have no knowledge of vegetarianism for ages, for ages. Prabhupada said, can you do this? The magician, he just bowed down to Prabhupada. He says, no, Prabhupada, only you can do this. So it is possible. It is possible. If it is possible for the hippies to become happies, it's definitely possible for us, many of us are Indians here, so it's definitely possible. So the next thing is, how do I know that, whatever you are saying, you're saying makes sense, but whatever you're saying, how do I know it makes any sense? Spiritually, how do I know it is authorized? How do I know it is authorized? Because many people say many things. In India especially, many people like to say many things. There, basically, a little bit of investigation is required on your part. You could go and read the Bhagavad Gita, and I'll read a few verses here, which sort of Krishna is saying the same thing that we are doing every day. So this is Krishna speaking. Have some respect. This is Krishna speaking. Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam. This is 9th chapter, 14th verse. Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrata namastasyancha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Krishna says satatam. Satat means always. Kirtayanto mam. Kirtan. Of whom? Mam. Krishna is saying. Yatantascha dridhavrata. Yatantas, which means endeavoring. Full determination. Dridhavrata. Arjuna is called dridhavrata. Namasyantascha mam bhaktya. Namasyantas meaning worshipping. Obeisances, basically. To whom? Mam. Who are they? Who are these people? They are my bhaktya. They are my devotees. Nitya yukta upasate. Nitya. Nitya again, eternal. Again the same word comes, eternal. Nitya yukta upasate. Yukta, joined, connected. Upasate, upasana. They are constantly doing worship of Krishna. Then, then food. That's the next thing, that I spoke about. Kirtan is one thing, food is the other one. He says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayaschati. Tad aham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmana. Krishna is saying what? Patram pushpam phalam. Very simple. Patra, pushpa, phala. I'll not translate, I think most of us will know. Or leaf, flower, fruit, like that. Toyam means water. Yome bhaktya upasati. So you offer it to me with devotion and I accept it. Ashnami prayatatmana. He accepts from one who is pure in consciousness, he says. Prayatatmana. Like that. And then he goes a little bit further. He says, Yat karoshi yad ashnashi. Yad jochi dadashi yat. Yat tapasasi kontevya. Tat kurushva mat arpanam. He says, whatever you do, offer to me. Krishna says, whatever you do, don't worry. Just offer to me. Krishna says. He goes a little bit further. He says, no worry. Anything. Just offer to me. Then he says something very, very nice, for us in Kali Yuga. He says, Api chetsu duracharo bhajate maam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyag vyavasthito hi saha. He says, Api chetsu duracharo. Durachar, achar, very bad achar. Su durachar means extremely bad achar. Api chetsu durachar. Bhajante maam ananya bhak. But if he worships me, if such a person also worships me, he says, sadhureva samantavya. Krishna is saying, my opinion, he is sadhu. So in Kali Yuga, most of us are like this. There is not, out of the 4 regulative principles, most of us have broken some. But Krishna says, sadhureva samantavya. He says, it's my opinion. It's not anybody else's opinion. It's Krishna's opinion. Krishna says, sadhureva samantavya. What's he saying? I consider such a person to be sadhu. Krishna is saying. And then he says, what happens? Shipram bhavati dharmatma. Shipram means immediately, or very little time, basically, very soon. Bhavati means becomes. Dharmatma. Krishna is saying, what happens to such a person? He becomes righteous. Shipram, within no time he becomes righteous, Krishna says. So there is hope. There is a lot of hope. Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying. Then, in the end, 934, he sort of recaps. Basically, at the end of every chapter in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna recaps whatever has been spoken in that chapter. So 9th chapter, the recap is this. Manmana bhav mad bhakto. We're all talking about 9th chapter verses, yeah? If anybody wants to look them up after the class, I can give you, what the verses were. So 934, the last verse, he says, Manmana bhav mad bhakto. Mad yaji mam namaskuru. Mam evashyasi satyam. Mam evashyasi yuktaivam. Atmana mat prayana. Engage your mind, always thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me. Worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, you will surely come to me. Krishna is saying. Surely, he says. Surely. Evashyasi. Mam evashyasi. Evashyasi means surely. It will happen. So this is Krishna. So it is definitely authorized. Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna is giving us lot of hope. Lot of hope Krishna is giving. He says, sadhu eva samantavya. He says, even if somebody is, if Krishna is not giving up on us, who are we to give up on us? Who are we to say, I cannot do this Krishna consciousness? Krishna is not saying that. We have to just be sincere, that's all. That's all. Just add Krishna, as Krishna is saying. Whatever you do, if you get a new, Prabhupada would say, if in a house, mangoes come for the first time in a season, just offer the first mango to Krishna. Come to the temple, offer. How difficult is that? You anyway come to the temple. So it's not difficult. It's not difficult. We think it is difficult because our minds make us think it is difficult, but it is not difficult. In this age, Krishna has reduced the passing marks. Passing marks, like when the exam is tough, the marks go down. It used to happen in my college, engineering college. So exam is tough, so marks have gone down. Like that. Kali Yuga exam is very tough. Very, very tough. No forest to go and meditate. No age. So many diseases. So Krishna says, no problem. Reduce. Whatever you do, just offer to me, I will take care of you. But one thing to note here is love versus lust. Many times, people think, oh, I love somebody, or we don't know. So we have to be very careful. See, lust means you scratch my back. I'll just give the two definitions of love and lust. Lust means you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Love means just to serve selflessly for the sake of the pleasure of the other. In Vaikuntha, in the spiritual world, everybody wants to serve everybody else and Krishna just to give pleasure to that person and Krishna. In the material world, everybody says, you scratch my back. What is in it for me? मेरे लिए क्या है? ठीक है, that's all right. But what's in it for me? So the definition of love is, again, I'll just repeat, to serve selflessly just for the pleasure of the other. And lust, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Now, if you don't scratch my back, thank you very much. I don't want to do anything with you. Result, again, I'll come back to the result. Just chant, see for yourself. Chant, dance, feast. Come to the temple, offer, things to Krishna. See for yourself. You will see a change. You will see a change. This is not a movement where we say something theoretical and we don't have anything practical to prove. You come, you see, you associate. You see for yourself. Get purified. Get purified. For what? Sattvam shuddhet. And then what will you enjoy? Brahma Saukhyam Tamanantam. You will eternally enjoy. Again, as I said, Srila Prabhupada, what he has given us, again, even in India, if it was not for Srila Prabhupada, at least I would not have been, knowing anything or doing anything, to purify myself. But today, Srila Prabhupada's mercy is upon all of us. His own example, he went to America with what, 40 rupees? And the first few, when he was in the matchless gifts, we were just hearing the other day with Rupalas Prabhu, in matchless gifts, Srila Prabhupada was there. This is 1960, late 60s, early 70s, like this. So everybody would come, Prabhupada would cook, 70-year-old person, cooking every day for all these young boys, and some of them could eat a lot. Young boys, they can eat a lot. Prabhupada would personally cook. Prabhupada would personally clean everything. Prabhupada would personally, invite them. Prabhupada would personally give the lecture. So it was Prabhupada doing everything, and these people just coming, eating, listening, lecture, kirtan, and going. Then one day somebody thought, let me ask, this man is old, maybe he's doing everything. So Srila Prabhupada, he said, Swamiji, that time they used to call him Swamiji. He said, Swamiji, can I help? Prabhupada said, thank you for asking. Prabhupada would not even ask them to serve. Prabhupada, when they asked, Prabhupada said, yes, thank you for asking. Can you do this? Immediately Prabhupada had service. So this is, and out of this love of Srila Prabhupada, the whole, we are here today. We're listening to Bhagavatam, we're listening to Bhagavad Gita. It is possible by Srila Prabhupada's mercy. I'll just end, I think, with a story. This is a 17th century story, very interesting. Listen carefully. This is true story. Very true. What happened is, there was this king of dacoits in Bengal, and dacoits are shady people, so, but he somehow worshipped Kali, somehow he had some love and respect for Mother Kali. So he called his priest when his son was born. He got a son. So son was born, he called the priest. So the priest said, okay, let me make his horoscope. So he made the horoscope. In the horoscope, the priest said, do not ever let him hear Krishna, because if you let him hear about Krishna, he will leave you, he will not become the next dacoit king. He will leave you, and he will not become a dacoit even. So this person made a 100% try to not allow his son, the dacoit son, to ever listen anything about Krishna. Nothing listening about Krishna. 17th century. So this boy grew up, he became a dacoit himself, very good dacoit. He was very, doing his work nicely. One day in the forest, he saw some people who were not so rich. So of course he didn't beg them. They were sadhus. And they were speaking about this boy, Krishna. And they were saying, like Mother Kunti, she says, Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Namo Pankaja Maline, Namo Pankaja Netraya, Namami Pankajangraya. So Krishna is very beautiful. Namo Pankaja. Like that. So Krishna's, everything is lotus. Krishna's navel is lotus. Krishna's eyes are lotus. Krishna's garlands is lotus. Krishna's hands, Krishna's feet are lotus. Krishna is very beautiful. So they were describing Krishna, and while describing Krishna's beauty, they also started to describe Krishna's ornaments. Kaustubha money, jewels. This interested this dacoit. He said, oh, wonderful. This one boy is nice. One time I will just steal everything from him. I don't need to steal again. You see, everybody has this, that, in my material life, 1 year, 2 years, I will gain so much money that I don't have to work any, at least this is what materialist thing. So dacoit was thinking the same thing. I will rob this one boy. This one boy, enough, so much jewels, so much, opulence. Let me just, rob this. So he goes to the sadhus, very nicely, humbly. He said, my dear friends, you talked about this boy. And in Vrindavan, everybody talks present tense. If you go to Terkadam, they'll say, oh, Krishna goes here every day. Terkadam is a place near anybody has been to Terkadam in Vrindavan, near Vrindavan? Roji? So, if you go to Vrindavan, everything is present tense. Like Krishna walks, Terkadam, every day he comes, and every day he does this. So it's all present tense. So the sadhus told him like present tense. Yeah, Krishna is in Vrindavan, he's doing his pastime. You go to Vrindavan, you'll find him. Go to Vrindavan, okay. So he goes to Vrindavan. Oh, but before going, he asked the sadhus, he said, sadhus, tell me, what does he like? So they said makhan and mishri. Mishri is like a kind of sugar. So they like makhan. Makhan, makhan means butter. Butter, yeah. So makhan and mishri, this is what he likes. So he said, oh, wonderful, I'll go to Vrindavan. So this person goes to Vrindavan walking. In those days in India, no trains, nothing. So he walked all the way to Vrindavan. He's doing devotional service here because he does not realize Krishna in the manifest Leela is not there. So he goes to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, he asks some other sadhus, where does Krishna go every day? He said, oh, here, this is his house, Nand Baba's house. This is Ter Kadam. Every day he goes from here. Okay. So he goes behind a bush. And what time? So they even give him the time. Ashtakalya Leela. There is times for Krishna passing different places. Even now, it's observed. So the first Leela, I think, is in Vrindakund. ISKCON Vrindakund. So that's where the first Leela is. So like that, sister, they say, he passes here every day evening, He comes, he returns back. And he'll be with a lot of cows, and he'll be with his brother Balram. Krishna is, there's no difference, so don't mistake Krishna and Balram. One is Sham, and one is white, like that. So Balram is white, and so don't mistake. Okay, no problem. And Krishna will be carrying a flute. Okay, no problem, understood. So he waits, he gets a lot of Makhan Mishri, waits, a lot of money he spends, getting the Makhan Mishri, waits behind a tree like this, hides. Nobody comes, first day. What is this now? Nobody comes, nobody. So next day, he goes, he says, oh, don't worry, he comes every day here only, wait here. Okay, so he waits, second day, third day is really, desperate for Krishna. This is the mood, desperate for Krishna, like baby crying for Krishna. So he's saying, what is this? I spent so much time, energy, everything came here, and this Krishna is not even coming, and he's thinking of Krishna constantly. Constantly thinking of Krishna, is not coming. What is this? So after some time, he's about to leave, and he sees lot of dust first in the air, and then he hears cow bells, cows' necks, and there's bells. He hears bells. He says, oh, somebody's coming. Then he sees lot of cows, and in between all of the cows, there is this lot of cowherd boys, and two of them are most refulgent. One is white, one is Sham, like this. So they come. He calls Krishna. As soon as Krishna comes near, he says, hey, shh, come here, Sham. He says, no, Krishna, my mother will, she's waiting, I can't. No, Makhan Mishri. Yeah, but I can't. Okay, come. So he somehow goes. Krishna says, very quick. He says, okay, so can I feed you? Sorry, can you eat this? He says, no, you feed me, Krishna says. He says, you feed me. He says, I'll not eat from you. He says, okay. So he feeds him Makhan Mishri, and then he says, oh, can I remove your jewels? He says, okay. So Krishna, he removes all the jewels. And then he sees Krishna's beauty. He says, jewels are more beautiful on Krishna than just lying on the side. So he says, okay, Krishna, I've removed your jewels today. Tomorrow, I'll remove again. Today, I'll make you wear again. So he makes Krishna wear all the jewels. So he does pujari service. Pujari service, which is there. Who's allowed inside? Only Brahmins. He does pujari service for Krishna directly, and he says, tomorrow I will steal. This boy is nice. He listens to me, no problem. Second day, again, Makhan Mishri, again, Krishna says, now again you came, I can't, he says, no problem. Again, same thing happens, again he makes Krishna wear. Third day, he does it, and he says, no more stealing. He never leaves Vrindavan again. This dacoit becomes a big devotee. So all that was required for this dacoit was faith that Krishna will come, and, a little bit of eagerness. This is all we need. Childish eagerness. This is all we need. I think I'm getting late, and forgive me, I speak too fast, so, I must have spoken very fast. Okay. Yeah, so this is all we need. That's all, I think I'm over. Yeah. So thank you all very much for coming, and again, please keep on coming. What do we need? 3 things that we need: chanting, dancing, and feasting. Can we repeat?
Chanting, dancing, feasting.
Again, what do we need?
Chanting, dancing, feasting.
In association of devotees of Srila Prabhupada. That's all we need to go back to Godhead. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.